Edmund Emil Kemper III, known as Ed Kemper, was an American serial killer infamous for his brutal crimes in the early 1970s. His moniker, the Co-Ed Killer, stemmed from his victims, primarily young female students hitchhiking in Santa Cruz, California. Kemper's crimes were marked by their horrific nature, including necrophilia, dismemberment, and cannibalism. However, beyond the gruesome details lies a complex story of a troubled individual shaped by a deeply dysfunctional childhood, marked by abuse and neglect. Understanding Kemper's psyche offers a chilling glimpse into the mind of a serial killer and provides valuable insights into the development of criminal profiling. Ed Kemper's descent into darkness began in his formative years, a time when the seeds of violence were sown deep within him. Born in 1948, he was the middle child in a tumultuous household, a place where love was scarce and conflict was abundant. His father, a World War II veteran, struggled to adjust to civilian life, bringing the horrors of war back home with him. He belittled Ed's intelligence and masculinity, creating a deep sense of inadequacy in the young boy, who yearned for approval but found only criticism. The situation worsened with Ed's parents' divorce when he was 9, shattering any remaining semblance of stability in his life. His mother, Clarnell, an emotionally volatile alcoholic, bore the brunt of Ed's resentment, her unpredictable behavior adding fuel to the fire. Clarnell often blamed Ed for her problems, subjecting him to relentless verbal and emotional abuse, which left deep scars on his psyche. She would lock him in the basement, fearing he would molest his younger sister, a punishment that only deepened his sense of isolation and abandonment. This isolation and degradation fueled Ed's rage and twisted his perception of women, planting the seeds of his future violent fantasies. He began to fantasize about violence, particularly towards his mother, envisioning acts of revenge that grew darker with time. These early experiences laid the foundation for his future atrocities, highlighting the profound impact of childhood trauma and parental relationships on the development of violent behavior, a tragic testament to the destructive power of a broken home. Kemper's violent fantasies turned into a horrifying reality at the age of 15. Following an argument with his mother, he was sent to live with his paternal grandparents on their remote ranch. Ed resented this move, viewing it as another form of rejection. He channeled his anger towards his grandparents, eventually deciding to act on his violent urges. In August 1964, Ed shot and killed his grandmother, Maud Kemper, during an argument. He then turned the gun on his grandfather, Edmund Kemper Sr., as he returned from a grocery run. The murders were calculated and cold-blooded, shocking the community. Following his apprehension, Kemper was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and sent to Atascadero State Hospital, a maximum security facility for the criminally insane. Despite his diagnosis and incarceration, Kemper's time at Atascadero proved to be a period of manipulation and further descent into his dark fantasies. He became a model prisoner, convincing doctors of his rehabilitation. He even volunteered for research projects studying the minds of other criminals. This experience provided him with valuable insights into criminal psychology, which he would later use to his advantage. While incarcerated, Kemper's homicidal urges intensified. He fixated on young women, fantasizing about kidnapping and killing them. He honed his skills of manipulation and deception, learning to project an image of normalcy and trustworthiness. His release in 1969, deemed rehabilitated by the very system designed to contain him, would have devastating consequences. Section 5. A Killer Among Us, Kemper and Law Enforcement. Upon release, Kemper returned to his mother, who was now working as a secretary at the University of California, Santa Cruz. This new environment provided him with a semblance of normalcy, and he appeared to be reintegrating into society. Despite their troubled past, Kemper managed to convince her and others of his transformation. He was charming and articulate, often engaging in friendly conversations with neighbors and acquaintances. He secured a job with the California Highway Department and became a familiar face around town, known for his towering height and seemingly gentle demeanor. His colleagues and neighbors saw him as a polite and helpful individual. However, beneath this facade lurked a monster. Kemper's outward appearance masked his dark and twisted desires, which he kept hidden from those around him. Between May 1972 and February 1973, Kemper embarked on a terrifying killing spree. The news of missing young women began to spread, causing fear and panic in the community. He targeted young female hitchhikers, luring them into his car with promises of rides and friendly conversation. His victims, unsuspecting and trusting, had no idea of the horror that awaited them. His victims, mostly students from UC Santa Cruz, became victims of his sadistic fantasies. The university community was particularly shaken as the disappearances continued. He would drive them to secluded areas where he would torture, kill, and dismember them. The brutality of his crimes left a lasting scar on the community and baffled law enforcement. Section 6. Inside Kemper's Mind, Psychological Evaluation and Diagnosis. Kemper's crimes were marked by a chilling level of premeditation and control. He meticulously planned each act, ensuring that he left no evidence behind that could easily lead to his capture. He would often keep the bodies of his victims, engaging in necrophilia and cannibalism. This gruesome behavior was not just a means to an end but a part of his ritualistic compulsion. He meticulously disposed of the remains, scattering body parts in various locations to avoid detection. This methodical approach showcased his deep understanding of forensic science and criminal investigation techniques. His actions demonstrated a disturbing blend of intelligence, cunning, and profound psychological disturbance. Kemper's ability to evade capture for so long was a testament to his strategic thinking and manipulative skills. Psychiatrists who later examined Kemper described him as a highly intelligent individual with an IQ of 145. This high level of intelligence made his crimes even more perplexing and horrifying. However, this intelligence was coupled with severe mental illness. His psychological profile revealed a complex interplay of cognitive brilliance and deep-seated psychopathology. His diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenia, characterized by delusions and hallucinations, provided a framework for understanding his distorted perceptions and motivations. These symptoms often led him to believe in bizarre and unfounded ideas, driving his violent actions. Kemper's case highlighted the complex interplay between mental illness, intelligence, and criminal behavior, raising critical questions about criminal responsibility and the treatment of the criminally insane. It forced society to confront the uncomfortable reality of how mental health issues can intertwine with criminality, challenging our legal and ethical frameworks. Section 7. Matricide, the killing of Clarnell Strandberg. On April 20, 1973, Kemper committed his final and perhaps most psychologically significant murder, that of his mother, Clarnell. He bludgeoned her to death in her sleep, fulfilling a long-held fantasy, fueled by years of resentment and rage. Afterward, he decapitated her, violated her corpse, and used her severed head as a dartboard. This act of matricide represented the culmination of Kemper's deep-seated anger towards his mother, whom he blamed for his emotional turmoil and violent tendencies. It also marked a turning point in his psyche, as if killing the source of his torment had somehow freed him from his inner demons. Section 8. Confession and Capture, a Killer Unmasked. Following his mother's murder, Kemper drove east, eventually calling the police in Colorado to confess to his crimes. Initially, his claims were met with skepticism due to his polite demeanor and articulate manner. However, Kemper provided details about the murders that only the perpetrator could have known. His confession sent shockwaves through law enforcement and the public alike. The seemingly gentle giant, who had blended so seamlessly into society, was revealed to be a monster responsible for a string of horrific crimes. Kemper's capture and subsequent trial captivated the nation, shedding light on the dark underbelly of seemingly peaceful communities and the chilling reality of serial killers living among us. Section 9. The Legacy of a Killer. Kemper's Impact on Criminal Profiling. Kemper's case had a profound and lasting impact on the field of criminal psychology and the development of profiling techniques. His crimes, coupled with his willingness to be interviewed by law enforcement officials and psychiatrists, provided invaluable insights into the mind of a serial killer. The detailed accounts of his thoughts, motivations, and modus operandi helped shape the FBI's behavioral science unit and its approach to understanding and apprehending violent offenders. Kemper's case illustrated the importance of profiling techniques that went beyond physical evidence, focusing on behavioral patterns, psychological characteristics, and victimology. It highlighted the need for law enforcement agencies to collaborate with mental health professionals to better understand and address the complexities of criminal behavior. Section 10. Cultural Representations, Kemper in Film and Literature. The chilling nature of Kemper's crimes and his complex personality have made him a subject of fascination in popular culture. His story has been the inspiration for numerous books, films, and television shows, often exploring the psychological underpinnings of his violence and the societal factors that contributed to his development. Notable examples include the Netflix series Mindhunter, which features a fictionalized version of Kemper's interactions with FBI profilers. These portrayals, while often dramatized, serve as a reminder of the real-life horrors of serial murder and the importance of understanding the motivations behind such heinous acts. Section 11. Conclusion. Understanding the mind of a monster. Ed Kemper's case stands as a chilling reminder of the dark potential that can reside within seemingly ordinary individuals. His story highlights the devastating impact of childhood trauma, abuse, and mental illness on the development of violent behavior. While we may never fully comprehend the depths of Kemper's depravity, studying his case provides valuable insights into the minds of serial killers and the factors that contribute to their horrific acts. By understanding the psychological underpinnings of such crimes, we can work towards better prevention strategies, improve our criminal justice system, and ultimately create a safer society. However, the case of Ed Kemper also serves as a stark reminder of the complexity of human nature and the enduring mystery surrounding the origins of evil.